Coming up on the first Falcon Fever of 2014, the men's basketball team took on the ranked Georgia Southwestern Hurricanes at Trustmark Arena on the 15th. See how that match turned out for the Falcons.
And hear about the Falcons' NCAA achievements made off the court.
We also have insight from a member of the track and field team on how they're preparing for their season. Falcon Fever starts now. Hello and welcome to Falcon Fever. I'm Sloan Gibby.
And I'm Chloe Allen. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, it's really good to be back for the 2014 season. What do you think, Sloan?
It really is. It's been hard to adjust without some of our people that have been helping behind the scenes. We have a new staff, and it's hard to deal without people that we've lost, and we really miss them. But and it's been hard adjusting to Tuesdays and Thursdays instead of Wednesdays that we've been previously used to.
Yeah.
But it's been an adjustment, but we hope you all still continue to watch, even though it's on Thursday, so look out for that. With that being said, let's tip off our 2014 sports coverage with some basketball news. The women's basketball team took on conference opponent Georgia Southwestern last weekend. The game was neck and neck early on, with the teams going into halftime tied at 28. The Falcons came out strong for the second half with a 15-3 run and never looked back. Taylor Beverly led the Falcons with 23 points and 13 rebounds. UM won the game with a final score of 60-55. The women then hit the road to take on the Francis Marion Patriots in Florence, South Carolina. Despite Taylor Beverly putting up the game-high 28 points, the Falcons couldn't pull out the win. The Patriots squeaked by the Falcons for a 67-65 win. The women then traveled to North Carolina to take on the UNC Pembroke Braves Monday. Taylor Beverly put up 20 points. Shea Bonner added 16 points and 5 steals before fouling out in the second half. The Falcons beat the Braves 62-59. The women have won 3 of the last 4 games, improving their overall record to 6-10 on the season. They're 3-6 in the PBC.
That's really good, and it's really good to see the women doing so well.
They've improved their record really well, and I think they're going to finish the season pretty strong.
I know. I can't wait to see how the rest of the season turns out. Yeah. And with that being said, now let's catch up with the action from the men's basketball team. Last week, the men took on the Georgia Southwestern Hurricanes, who came in leading the PBC West in the standings. UM's Orlando Brazier led the Falcons with 14 points and 12 rebounds. Teran Brown put up 13 points. The Falcons won at the nail-biter with a final score of 61-59. Check out our Instagram to see more highlights, including the partial blackout in the arena during the game. Just search for at Falcon Fever. Next, the men took on the Francis Marion Patriots last Saturday. Dominated the second half on the way to 86-64 win. Shaquem Jackson led the Falcons with 21 points on a career-best 7 of 11 shooting from behind the arc. Larry Slaughter added 14 points and 11 boards off the bench. The Falcons continued to soar as they faced on the UNC Pembroke Braves Monday afternoon. Orlando Brazier scored 16 points and snatched 11 rebounds in the Falcons' 88-61 victory. The back-to-back road wins give the Falcons a 14-2 record on the season and 7-2 in conference play. The men's team jumped 4 spots to number 17 in the week's National Association of Basketball Coaches poll.
This marks the 8th week in a row that the men have been ranked in the top 25. It's the second longest top 25 streak in school history, and I think that's pretty impressive.
That is really impressive.
They're doing really well, and congratulations, guys.
Yes.
Coming up for the Falcons basketball, the men's and women's team head to East Savannah, Georgia, to face the Armstrong Atlantic Pirates Saturday, January 25th. The women tip off at 12:30, with the men's game following at 2:30. Then the teams return to Trustmark Arena January 30th to face Young Harris. Tip-off for the women's game begins at 5:30 p.m. with the men's game following at 7:30. There will also be a special appearance by Professor Kinghouse at the event. Remember, you can watch more home basketball games streamed live online by mass communication students at montevalleyfalcons.com. The UM Falcons are standing out not only for their athletic excellence, but also for their community engagement. Montevallo was named winner of the Award of Excellence for the PBC, which makes them a national finalist for the Division II award. This award recognizes events that exemplify the type of community engagement the division emphasizes. UM was recognized for its Coming Home event for our Friends of Athletics event in October. Both President Stewart and Athletic Director Jim Herlihy represented Montevallo at the NCAA convention this weekend. And I don't know if you had a chance to go to that game, but I was anchoring there live with Savannah, one of our other anchors, and it was an amazing game. The crowd was really engaged. They had a halftime shot for tuition. It was really great to see that event spotlighted because it glorifies and it exemplifies what we should have at all of our games, and I think it was tremendous that we were spotlighted for that.
Definitely, and it's great to see our Falcons being recognized for that. I really enjoy seeing that. And earlier today, a pair of Falcons were named to the preseason all-conference team. Juniors Vinny Rodriguez and Zach Willoughby are active players on our UM baseball team. Rodriguez, who was selected as a designated hitter, and Willoughby, who was selected as an outfielder, were each named second-team All-Peach Belt Conference following the 2013 season. Congratulations to these Falcons. Opening day for the 2014 season is Saturday, February 1st, when they host the University of West Georgia in a doubleheader. First pitch is set for 1 p.m. at Kermit Johnson Field. Track and field season starts soon for the Falcons. The team will compete in their first event this Sunday, January 26th at the Emory Invitational.
Falcon Fever correspondent Devin Cooley caught up with one of the team members to talk about how they're preparing for the season. Devin joins us now in the studio to introduce us to our first featured Falcon of 2014. Devin?
Thanks, guys. This week's featured Falcon is Hillary Jackson. Hillary competes for the Montevallo track and field team and is a junior from Birmingham, Alabama. Yesterday, I had the chance to talk with her about the upcoming track and field season. Today, I'm here with Hillary Jackson, Montevallo Falcons track and field athlete. Hillary, thank you for being here today, but what is it that's brought you to Montevallo?
What brought me to Montevallo? It was the love for track and field. It was the pretty scenes, the trees, everything else, and it was just the sport being new, and I wanted to be able to go down in history with the sport.
Very cool. Now, what is it that you compete in for Montevallo in the track and field?
I compete in the shot put and the discus.
Cool. What is it that got you into that area of the sport?
Well, I started off with softball, and I only wanted to catch the ball. I only wanted to throw the ball, I didn't want to catch it. And then somebody was like, well, you need to go somewhere where you could just throw the ball and not catch it. So I was like, well, I'm going to try track and field. And I tried it, and I don't have to catch anything. So.
That works. How do you balance being a full-time athlete and a full-time student?
The way I balance that is like it takes a lot of time management. You have to be able to write down every single thing you're gonna do and do it, and make sure that you get a lot of time to yourself and a lot of time to study, as well as practicing. So I just use a lot of time management in that.
Cool. Also, what are you as a team and also you as an individual doing to prepare for this upcoming season?
This upcoming season, we are preparing by doing vigorous workouts, vigorous practicing, and we just uplifting each other because it is new. So we're just trying to make sure everybody know a good route to go, and we just helping each other out and just doing what we got to do.
That's great. Thank you for being here again today, Hillary, this week's Featured Falcon. If you have a Montevallo athlete you'd like to see featured on the show, leave us a comment on Facebook or Twitter. Hillary was really excited about this upcoming season and the off-season that they've had, and she's really looking forward to this next season. So thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Now it's time for our Falcon Fever Fan of the Week.
That's right, Slum. This week's fan is Levi Dorsett. Levi is a freshman cross-country runner from Odenville, Alabama. He attends a lot of Falcons athletic events and shares photos with us on Facebook.
Thanks, Levi, for being a fan of Falcon Fever. We really appreciate it.
That's right. Thank you so much. So, what do you get when you combine a couple of elementary schoolers, jump ropes, and some fast-paced music?
You get a show-stopping performance from the Leeds Elementary School jump rope team. During halftime at the women's basketball games against Georgia Southwestern, the jump rope team took to the court to entertain the crowd. The kids showed off their skills with complicated jump roping tricks combined with some gymnastic moves. I know when I was a kid, I could jump rope, but nothing like that. I've never seen anything like that before.
I would have fallen flat on my face.
They were really talented. I'm glad they got spotlighted. They deserved it.
That's right. And it was really good to see all those kids coming out and actually being showcased like that. Schooling some of these older kids.
If you haven't seen it, it is on our page.
That's right.
It's really good. Remember, you can get more Falcon Fever on YouTube and on social media.
That's right. To see current and past episodes of Falcon Fever, just go to YouTube and subscribe to Montevallo For You channel.
Also, friend us on Facebook to see more stories and pictures from various sporting events, just like the jump roping ones that we just saw. And if you go to a Falcons game, take a picture and tag us in it on Facebook, and we'll share it with the rest of our Falcon Fever viewers.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter for the latest Falcons news and tweets from your favorite athletes. Just search for @FalconFever.
You can also get more pictures and videos on Instagram. Just search for Falcon Fever.
And last but not least, you can get extended sports coverage on MontevalloFalcons.com. There you'll find schedules, team rosters, live stats, and more.
Well, that's all that we have the time for this week's show.
That's right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, you guys, for our first show of 2014. Be sure to tune in again next week for more exciting athletic news from the University of Montevallo. We'll see you then.